Hi friends, and welcome to another video. Today I'm bringing you a Flosstube update, and I have quite a lot to talk about and show, so I really hope you enjoy this video. I'm really excited because I kind of started my new rotation, which I spoke about in my last Flosstube, Flosstube plans. I will leave that linked on the screen somewhere in case you missed it. And I have had some time to work the rotation, and I think it's going to be kind of fun and kind of, good for me to see progress on loads of different whips. So I'm really excited to start the new rotation. But I'm also excited for this video because I actually have so much to talk about this time, and I'm going to get right on in with acquisitions or purchases. And I have here my handy dandy notes. So the first things I would like to talk about are the free charts that I downloaded. And I got these from Cross Stitch the Globe. They are a Flosstube channel. I believe they're sisters, and I will leave them linked down below. Thank you so very much for putting together the free pattern videos. They're great. I downloaded so many things, and I'm just going to run through them. Do I have a plan of starts or anything like that? No, but I wanted to download these while they're free. So if you have any interest in these, I will leave both videos linked down below, because I believe I got some from the autumn free cross stitch and the Halloween free cross stitch. So I will leave both videos in the description box in case you would like to go through and grab some of these for yourself. So the first chart I got is The Raven by Night Spirit Studio. I actually got two charts from Night Spirit Studio. So I got The Raven and Self-Isolating Bat. And I really enjoy Night Spirit Studio. I already have one of their patterns on the go. So when I seen these for free, I just decided to add them to my stash because I can definitely see myself stitching these. I actually can see myself stitching all of the ones that I downloaded. The next one is The Little Grave by the Stitch Crypt, and this is so cute. This kind of reminds me of the grave in Hocus Pocus. That Winifred's lover, which is not actually her lover, arises from, which is why I really enjoyed this, and I thought like this would be cute as a little Halloween decoration. The next one was Harvest Dragon by Ingleside Imaginarium. This is so cute. Have you seen this dragon? This is the cutest thing ever. The only thing I'm intimidated by is backstitch, because I haven't done a lot of backstitch, and a pattern that has quite a bit of backstitch does kind of intimidate me. But this is so cute, and it's fairly small, that I feel like this would be a good place for me to start if I wanted to, up my backstitching game. This would be like a super cute project to do that with. The next one is Mushroom Toadstools by Owl Forest Embroidery. This is a huge pattern, and when I seen this, I couldn't believe that it was free, because this is amazing. I don't know if I would stitch all of these in a big pattern, or if I would like split up the mushrooms and just stitch the ones that I wanted. But that's why I like this so much, because you can really do what you want with the free patterns that they've gave you, and I just think it's absolutely amazing that this is a free pattern. I also got Alice in Wonderland, also by Owl Forest Embroidery, and this is cute. I do love me some Alice in Wonderland. I am especially partial to the Cheshire Cat, and I just like all the little bits and pieces that are in this one. I think I would stitch this all together because it's such a cohesive piece. When? I don't know, but I'm so glad to have this in my stash. The next one is, again, Owl Forest Embroidery. The Cats Have Arrived. I wasn't sure if I was going to download this one because I liked some of the pattern. Other parts of the pattern I wasn't too sure about, but overall I liked the theme of the pattern. And what I've noticed recently is I was when I first started cross stitch, I was very drawn to full coverage, which I still am. I love full coverage and just the act of stitching full coverage. But I've noticed that recently other things have been taking my interest that I didn't think would. And we will get into that. I have my next floss tube is going to be a wish list floss tube. So it's all the things I have on my wish list. And I find it so interesting, the span of my wish list now, because back when I first started cross stitch, there was a lot of either smalls or full coverage, but I think my stitching is evolving and I'm not mad at it at all. The next one is Smell My Feet by Lori Markovic. I love this. I would stitch this and maybe try and make it into like a welcome mat for Halloween. I think that would be so cool. And like I was thinking that you could stitch it, sew it onto a existing mat, and then put some of like the PVC clear, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a clear plastic, and just wrap it in that, and then it could be like a little Halloween welcome mat, which I thought was super cute. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. And I think that's it for my free patterns that I got. And again, if you are interested in free patterns and would like to look through the videos, I will leave them linked down below, because the women at Cross Stitch the Globe have done a fabulous job at putting them all together. And I'm now going to go back and watch their previous ones to see if there's any I want to add to this list. The next couple of things I bought are actually paper charts, and there may be a bit of rustling here, I do apologise. So I bought the floss that I was missing for stitching these charts. I don't know if you could really see that. And then I bought two fabulous houses. So Cottage Garden Samplings are doing a fabulous house release this year, which is a house every month, and I decided that I wanted to stitch not all of the houses, but I wanted to stitch one for every season so that I could put them all in a frame, and every season I can swap them out. And the first one that I purchased was Santa's house. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, so I will pop a picture in directly next to me so you can see it properly. And this calls for Ladybug and Plymouth Rock from Classic Colorworks. And this is my first time ever stitching with Classic Colorworks, and I will show you the colors that go along with it. I don't have anything. Do I have something to put behind here so you can really see them? Yeah. Put this behind it. I hope you can see these. So these are the two Classic Colorworks that are called for Santa's house. And I am so excited to get into this. This is a paper pattern, so it's a little bit different for me. It is also using fancy floss, which I believe this is fancy floss. And I've never used fancy floss before, so new experiences all around, really. I also bought the Cottage, which is also in the series. Again, if you can't see this, I will insert a picture for everything, because I just think you can see it more clearly. And this one calls for bean sprout. That might not be. Ooh. There we go. Bean sprout. I'm very excited for these. As I said, I feel like not my tastes are changing, but I'm evolving as a stitcher and finding new things. And now I am trying fancy flosses, and I'm excited. I am very excited. So I bought Santa's House and Cottage, which I also bought the fancy floss for. And then I also bought the fancy floss for the treehouse and the haunted house. So I bought Stormy Night, which I believe is for the haunted house. There we have it. And I also bought Hickory Sticks. That's the one that I'm thinking about for treehouse. But I used it for something else, which you will see in just a moment. And I'm just stitching all of these on 18 count. Ooh. Sorry, I'm getting myself in a little bit of a mess here. I'm stitching all of the houses that I purchase on just 18 count grey Ada. I bought this with the intention of stitching 2, but I think I may actually be able to fit 4 on each piece of this, because it is quite big. If I don't mind having a smaller border, because I'm probably going to frame these things myself. So having a smaller border doesn't really bother me. I think 2 inches is definitely my comfort space for borders. And I'm hoping that I can fit at least 2 on each of these grey fabrics. But if I can fit more, then I would be happy, because I may potentially be able to fit 4 if I work it out, when I work it out. And then I also bought Temperature Bookshelf, which is going to look like this. This actually is the frame. So this is a temperature chart by Grandma B. Wilding on Etsy. And I'm pretty sure everyone knows what a temperature chart is. You stitch in like a motif for every day depending on the temperature's range. But I decided in 2025 I would like to stitch a book on this every day for the amount of pages that I've read. So I will be taking the temperature ranges and putting them into pages read, and whatever I read that day will be stitched in a certain colour. So at the end of 2025, I can frame this, put it on my shelf, and be like, that's my reading tracker for 2025. I thought it would be a really cool idea, and it is actually a start. So we will get into new starts now. Why is that? Oh, no. Oh, no. Whew. I thought my microphone had turned off and that I would need to do this again, and I don't want to do it again. So my first new start is something that I said I was going to start in my previous Flosstube. This is The Witcher by Thread Geeks. Picture here of what it looks like finished. I normally pop in all the information of the project, so the whip name, where I bought it from, what I'm stitching it on, potentially the start date, and then what it will look like finished. So if you would like any more information on any of my whips, just pause and it should be on screen. So this is the Witcher start. I don't have a before and after, obviously, because this is a new start, but how amazing does this look? It's just fabulous. I can already see something, which I love. I just love that I can already see like this stitching come to life, like the hilt of the sword, and I'm really enjoying this. So I got 748 stitches into this for a total of 2.18%. And for me, that's a pretty good start, if I don't say so myself. And yeah, I'm having fun with this. I bought a scroll frame. It's a scroll frame that has legs, so you can sit it and rotate it while you stitch. I don't know if I'm a double-handed stitcher, to be honest. I found it really difficult. My left hand just does not want to do anything unless it's sus. That's all my left hand can do, right? So I swapped it to a Q-snap. I think I'm going to be just a Q-snap stitcher for things like this, which I'm okay with. It does mean that I'm going to need to buy more Q-snaps. We are going to move on to my next new start, which is Santa's house. And this is a very meager start. I really don't have much, and I would like to remedy that. I don't actually have any stats on this because this is a paper chart and I'm not counting stitches on this. I'm vibing. I would like to get more stitches into this, definitely, in the next couple of days. So hopefully when I come back, you'll be able to see something on this. I just couldn't help myself when I started this. I seen it, I loved them, I just want to stitch not all of them, but there is a few that are definitely catching my eye, and I would really like, and I would really like to get them all kitted up and rotate them out as I work on them. Pop everything back in here. That's going to stay out because I'm going to stitch on that. And I believe we have one more new start to share, which is the bookshelf by Grandma B. Wildin. Oh, I am doing both the Witcher and the Santa on 18 count Ada. I mostly stitch on 18 count Ada, although I have been looking at venturing out on other fabrics. I have something that's on 22 count and it's 2/1 tent stitch. That was my experiment to see if I liked that. And I am maybe thinking that my next full coverage, full new start would be 25 count. I did try 25 count as a new stitcher and I didn't get along with it, but it was mostly because the chart that I had picked didn't go into Pattern Keeper well, so the symbols would not highlight, and I was new, so I wasn't really sure of my stitching method that I'd liked, and even though I'm still trying to figure that out, I believe I'm more confident now trying 25 count. So I would like to try 25 count 1/1. That is a total tangent. I apologize. So this is the bookshelf temperature chart. And this, let's see if I can move this out of the way. And this is how much I have done. This grey here is the cute butt of a cat coming in. And as I said, I have changed. So the original pattern, I believe, is black and purple, but I wanted a more cottagecore feel. So I am using hickory sticks for the outline, and I am using, what is the color that I'm using? I'm using 3862 for the highlights. And I plan on changing one of the cats to a grey cat, one of the cats to a black cat, and I think the motifs throughout the piece I will change just as I see fit to fit in with a more cottagecore theme. And I also think that I will have to pick my colours for my ranges, which I'm going to try and put off until the end of the year so that I can go into the new year with the ranges ready to go. I am hot. I should have took this hoodie off, but we're in it now. We're in it now. So the next one is not a new start. This is now us swapping over to whips. And this is Until We Are Dust by Night Spirit Studio. There will be a before and an after. I'm not going to take this out of the Q-snap, not the Q-snap, the hoop, because it's in there precisely where I want it to be. But I mostly just moved from one skeleton to another skeleton. I don't have any stats on this one because it is, again, a paper chart. I have 2 paper charts now in my rotation, which is this one and Santa's house. So they won't have any stats. But I would like this to be a finish by the end of the year. So you will probably see this one again. Moving on, what do we have next? Okay, so this is Unicorn by Caroline Manning, and this is now my Monday whip for Manning Monday, and this is on 18 count River Hut Designs Ada. And this is how we are looking. Again, there will be a before and after picture on screen so you can see my progress. I got 167 stitches for a total of 5.28%. I am struggling with this piece because I can't tell, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but in here there's 2 colours that look very similar, and it is making the pattern look very muddy. I did think about changing one of the colours so that it could be slightly less muddy, but I think I'm just going to trust the process, trust the designer, and try and maybe neaten my stitches when I stitch those colours, because maybe it's my stitching that's like not nice. I don't know, but I don't want to change things and then regret it later. And quite honestly, I believe Caroline Manning knows what she's doing better than I do. So I'm going to trust the process, and I'm going to try and neaten up my stitches. And then hopefully when it all comes together, it will not look muddy. Hopefully. The next project is Stag Heart. I forget the artist's name. I am stitching this on 18 count River Hut Designs fabric. I apologise, I do not iron anything unless it's a whip parade. So you will have to deal with my very beat up fabric. And this is how we are looking. I stitched 150 stitches for a total of 2.85%. And I also said in my plans video that this could be a contender for me to split into 12 pieces, because this was meant to be a gift for my great aunt, and I'm not going to have this done by Christmas. So I was hoping by next Christmas I could have it done. And at the minute, if I wanted to split it into 12 for next year, I would have to do 1,190 stitches a month. That is a lot for me. I have a lot of hobbies. I stitch, I read, I crochet, I work, and I make videos, and I don't have all the time in the world to dedicate to stitching, which I really wish I did. But I do think that if I make time for things, then I will stick to them. And as I said in that video, I'm the type of person that needs structure in my stitching. So maybe now that I have the idea of a rotation and potentially partaking in WIPCO next year, maybe this could be an option for the split into 12, which I would love to do because I would love to actually give this to my great aunt as a gift. The next pattern I have here is Mordor. If you don't know, I would like to have 3 posters of Lord of the Rings stitched up, framed, and as a centerpiece in my home. So I have Mordor, Lothlorien, and Hobbitation. I am not allowed to start any of the other 2 until I complete a quarter of Mordor, which is a long way off. So this is how we are looking on Mordor. I got 317 stitches for a total of 2.49%. And I've just been filling in. I think this pattern, this method, when I first started it, I was doing it in color completion by page. I don't know if any kind of cross country is going to work for my brain. I don't like seeing gaps. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to finish this first page and then I will convert it into block stitching for the future so that I enjoy stitching on this a bit more. I just, when I go to pick it up, I just kind of look at all the gaps and think, oh my god, that's going to be so much confetti, and then I don't want to stitch confetti. So when I stitch in the gaps, I don't really see or feel the confetti because I'm stitching block gap very simultaneously. So that's Mordor. And the final project I have to show is I See You in My Dreams by Heaven and Earth Designs. I love this pattern. The only downside is this is the one that I started 2/1 tent stitch on 22 count, and this is how we are looking. Let's see. I got a total of, what did I get a total of? 428 stitches for a total of 3.69%. And if you don't know my struggles with this project, I started gridding here with pencil. And I've done this before. It's never been an issue, but it's been on 18 count 2/1. So I believe the thickness of the stitches has hidden the pencil marks. Not so much on this one. So I now have started working my way down here, and I'm gridding with a now water soluble pen to see if it's my stitching or if it is the pencil that was causing me issue. Because if I have no issue going forward with the lines, then I'll just continue, because you're never going to look at that small part of this whole pattern and go, oh, you can see grid lines, you know? So if I can make this into something that you do not see the grid lines in, then I will completely continue stitching, and hopefully maybe those lines will wash out or something. I'm getting there. I'm starting to get into sections where there's no pencil, so I can see if my stitches are going to hold up. And that is it. That is what I have for you today. I had quite a lot this time, and I'm so excited. I am really excited for my next Flosstube, because in my next Flosstube I will be doing a wish list, and I would like you to vote what my new start will be. Now, this new start doesn't have a date in mind. It doesn't have a time or place sort of thing, but what you vote on, I will start kitting up, and at some point in the new year, I will start it. So if you would like to vote on my next new start, please hit subscribe and hit the bell so that you're notified when my wish list comes out, so that you can vote and we can make the decision together. I'm so excited for that. I'm also really excited for my stitching. So as we know, I will be stitching on Caroline Manning on Mondays. Tuesdays, I will be spinning a wheel. Wednesdays will be Mordor. Thursday, I'll be spinning a wheel. Friday will be the temperature bookshelf. And then Saturday, Sunday is free stitching. Sorry. So I now have my new rotation. I have loads of whips to get me going. I also have a bit of a stitchy bug at the minute, which I love. And yeah, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you have a great day, great week, great weekend, whenever the hell you're watching this. Remember to stay safe, happy and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Pick it up from the top, hit